My most vivid memory of my mother is her stooping over her suitcase, her endless packing and unpacking. The clatter and the noise of her luggage as she wheeled it through our front door. I grew up as a left-behind child, a term that is used to describe someone who takes care of themselves or their siblings when their parents leave their homeland to work. I was barely 13 when my mother left the Philippines to work as a nurse in Oman. Children in my neighborhood would mock me and say I do not have a mother. And I would be so hurt and angry, especially on occasions such as teacher-parents' evenings, birthdays, Christmas. Once, our teacher asked us to write a poem. I wrote about a mother bird leaving her chicks. After reading my poem, she told me, "Romalyn, you could really be a writer one day." However, if Jane Austen's truth, universally acknowledged, is that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife, my own universally acknowledged truth was that I must be a nurse, like my mother, so that I could also help my family. So I buried the dream of becoming a writer, and instead, I flicked through my academic books every single night, intermittently slapping mosquitoes on my arm. When I was 16, my mother brought the whole family to the UK. Finally, we were together. But truth is, time and distance spent away from your loved ones stays with you permanently. In the UK, I studied nursing. Little did I know that nursing is not only a Bachelor of Science, it is a Bachelor of Life. It taught me to pay attention to the world around me and the world within me, an important skill needed to be a poet. In the last couple of years, my childhood narrative repeated. My mother and I lived away from each other. In fact, many of us did. We chose to stay away from our families as we fought on the front line of the pandemic. Writing poetry has become my way of honoring what has been lost or missing. It allows me to shed light on the narratives of migrant nurses, like my mother, those who care for their loved ones from afar. For me, poetry can heal the pain and fracture caused by time and distance. The poem that I will share with you today is called Names. It is my attempt to explore what it means to be physically and emotionally disconnected, but also what it means to find a sense of belonging in the names that are given to us. Thank you for listening. Names. My mother's name is Rosana, but when she left, I had other mothers, Rowena, Jimboy, Alma. I was named after the first syllables of my parents. I will always have them with me. My mother says not all names have meaning. Riverside, Manila, London, Corba. And someday I will forget all the commands I did not heed, like the time I did not spin the plate clockwise before my father left for work, even if it would deliver him from accidents. Not all destinations are found in the junctions of your palm lines. Say better life. Say better life. And God knows I am repenting. Say Airbus something, say one-way ticket, keep following the sunset. Clouds are the closest things to my mother. Say United Kingdom, say the Queen, NHS. Does winter always mean? Listen. Can you hear it? The loneliness of stretchers along A&E corridor. And the strongest part of me is the scar I hide underneath my fringe. My mother hides in the staff toilet to make long-distance calls. Someday I will realize the woman lonely in her mansion is not my mother, but a future version of myself. I will chop bitter gourds on the galaxy glimmer of her worktop. Shall we shorten your name on your name tag so it's easier to remember? Say, yes, please, sister. Say, please, sister, can I take this call? Say, Arnold, Marcus, Harold. Say, cancer, alcohol poisoning, hernia. Say, Jason, Darius, Vernon. Say, UTI, myocardial infarction, query, schizophrenia. Hides in the toilet. And I have the first syllables of my parents' names. That is why I am not scared. A boy sticks out his tongue and says, I do not have a mother. I punch him in the face. The sanctity of blood. I am not scared. Because my mother has followed the sunset. Because she has burned her lips on mash and gravy in a 3-minute lunch break. Because she calls me anak, my child, my baby. She asks, what do you want for Christmas? For your birthday? 1990 remains stuck on the other line. Say, please, sister, can I take this call? My breast blossom. She can call me only by my name. And I have the first syllables of my parents' names. That is why I am not scared. I can trek the mountain of Makulot, my father's rifle hanging from my back. I can carry myself, not how someone carries a cytotoxic drug, but how my mother hooks with her finger a drained bottle with blood clots, the weight of gemstones. Thank you.